Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Happy Wednesday, everybody! Welcome into another episode of the podcast that is normally we're late. That's what I'm trying to say.
We're late today.
We're very late today.
Yes.
Why? We'll explain.
Yes.
Dave Sharapan, Matt Perrault Brigade. Thank you for hanging. I know you guys are asking and posting funny memes and gifs and things in the Discord channel saying, "Where the heck are you two?"
Sorry.
This is just because we had to go, or Dave had to go see one of you guys. A Brigade member opened the door and Dave walked through. Sports Grid replay, guys. How are you? Live on YouTube and on Twitter at Boston versus the Book for both of those handles. I'll let you explain, Dave, your morning because you had quite the day already.
Awesome stuff. I'm going to save the whole story for the best thing about today, which we do at the end of the show every day. You guys new to the show, different segments every day. One we do for sure every day is best thing about today. It's how we end the show. But I started the day off. Johnny P, he's in the chat every day pretty much as his schedule allows, is now I think the term is trader. I don't personally like the term, but that's what he does. He's in the risk room at DraftKings, which is in town. He says, "Can you come over? I'll take you around." Can't get an odds guy and a risk guy out of the book. I mean, you can take him out of the book, but you can't get that ever out of him. So I'm like, yes. So we took a little tour. It was awesome. There's a picture of me outside. That's the DraftKings office outside. And then we walked around inside. We passed through security.
Good job
to
pulling
talk
that,
to
Farra.
some stuff.
Gross.
Yeah,
Great.
that looks awesome. Thank you, sir. But yeah, it was fun. And it took longer than I anticipated because I just really enjoyed hanging out in the risk room with the guys. And then craziest thing ever, a guy's walking out, right? And I'm like, "Hey, do you remember me?" And I took my hat off because a lot of people only remember me like this in the books because I was around for so long. And the guy looks, he goes, "Yeah." I said, "I'm Dave." I said, "Remember, last time I saw you was probably at the Venetian. I was working there." And he's like, "Yeah, do you remember my son, Travis?" I said, "Of course. I trained his son, Travis." Travis finished as a supervisor at the Venetian. He's the guy that puts in all the TVs in all of the books, McCann Systems. And he said, "Travis is working for me now. He's in the back of the building here." I said, "Well, I was going to leave, but now I have to go to the back of the building." And we did that, commiserated on a few things. Travis has 2 kids, a boy and a girl, 6 and 3. I hadn't seen pictures of them since the boy was born. Wow. So on top of all of the banter, which again, I'll save the direct banter for the best thing about today. Tremendous morning, an absolute tremendous morning. Pardon my tardiness.
Sorry, I'll ask the question everyone is wondering though. Like,
Yes.
what are the offices like? I mean, the whole building is theirs, correct? They don't share it with anybody, right?
Nope.
Yeah. So it's a 4-story, right off the highway.
4-story building right off the freeway. The views outside, I got a couple balconies, reminded me of my time in Curacao when we had offices and we had rooms of people answering phones and taking bets. And then right outside on the balcony was a view of the most beautiful beach I think I've ever seen in my life. Well, this doesn't have a view of the beach, but it has a view of the valley looking west. And looking west from where you're at, all those mountains. Different areas of the building, trading room, one area, customer service, another. They have a casino section of an area of, iCasino.
Soon to be expanding.
There's a lot of stuff going on there. A lot. And then it was pretty funny. They have individual conference rooms, right? They picked different team player names for them.
Neat.
So you could go meet in the Bryce Harper room or you could go meet in the so-and-so room. And then on the
Right.
other floor, they weren't players' names. They were meet in the money line room, meet in the parlay room. Like it was just, they used terms and stuff. So
Nice.
it was neat. It was, it's all happening as we speak. They're
Right.
making moves, and we'll discuss that in the rundown as well. But yeah, I got this lid. I got another one too. I don't know which one I like better. I got these lids before from Julian, our friend Julian from DraftKings. So that's the D with the crown.
It's a nice
Kinda
hat.
like it's not bad. I kind of like the black one though. The black one pops. I like the black one. So said I would wear them for the show. Thanks again to Johnny P. You guys should follow him at John Perrault. It doesn't look anything like it sounds. So, Johnny P, you're going to have to go put your Twitter handle in the chat. You can put that in there and find him. Johnny's
Those
in
are the
there.
last names that you need to. Like my last name is difficult to figure out. So that's why I just went with Sports Talk Matt. Like sometimes you just got to get rid of the last name.
Right? Like, I mean, should he go with Johnny P?
Yes.
I think he should, right?
Or Johnny P DK or something along those lines. Like something that.
Well, I don't know how quick you put the company in there because the company feels like it could change at any time.
Yeah, but DK it could be anything. I mean, it's just there. You know?
Yeah.
You can swap it out whenever. So.
Johnny Perrault. Just shorten it, Perrault. Perrault.
Johnny Miami. You know.
Speaking of Miami, he's talking about the Heat. Oh boy.
We'll get to that. We'll get to the Heat. So let's start with your Sixers, who did what we talked about yesterday. We put up the tweet from one Mr. Sean Grandy that the Boston Celtics had lost 4 consecutive games of the third home game of a series, and now make it 5 consecutive losses in the third home game of the series. Really weird trend.
Strange.
But we talked about it, and I was like, yeah, I could absolutely see it. I could 100% see a loss coming for the Boston Celtics. Again, point spreads don't matter. Either bet the dog or bet the favorite to cover. And the dog won the game outright. Embiid's knee looked pretty good. If his knee is like that, the Sixers are live to win it all.
He was playing really good defense, wasn't he? I mean, They were not intimidated. They just couldn't figure out a way to get a clean look going to the hoop.
Who? Boston?
Yeah.
Well, no, Boston just missed every open shot you could ever imagine.
They did miss. They did miss.
They had
shots.
open
You know where
shots
they lost?
everywhere.
You know where they really lost? What were those uniforms that they wore yesterday? What is those odd green script gold Celtic uniforms?
It's very.
What the hell are those?
They wear them all the time.
They're ugly.
Remember, I hate
ugly.
the fact that I don't like that home teams wear solid colors. I'm old school. Home teams wear white.
The Celtics have one of the most iconic, simple uniforms in the history of sports. The white shirt that says Celtics.
Yeah, but you can't wear that at home.
Wear the green one that says Celtics in the print that it always has for the beginning of time. I knew as soon as they wore those uniforms, they were done.
Well, it's not whatever. No, but that's not why they lost. They lost because they couldn't hit open shot. Al Horford missed 7 consecutive threes. It was ridiculous. They kept leaving him open. He kept on taking them, kept on missing them. You know, Tatum with these slow starts has to stop it. First quarter, he's asleep. I don't understand what's going on. Back-to-back games, but I still think the series is going 7.
I don't.
Okay. I think Boston's going on the road and they're going to win that game. They're favored to do so. They're -2 already. So
they're always -2. That's what they are at Philly.
They were
same
7.5.
number. 2.5.
And they went there.
2.
Yeah, and they went there in game 3 after in game 3,
they
and
lost
they killed
game
us.
4.
Right, but there's not going to be a game 4 anymore. There's game 6. There's one game. You win that, you go home for a game 7. No, I'm not guaranteeing a win.
You go home. Period. You
Correct.
Golf
But
reservations.
I don't believe Boston loses game 6, but I don't say Boston wins game 7 either. I mean, I think it is going 7.
Ooh.
And then I think it's a complete coin flip because Boston playing at home right now is nowhere near a sure thing.
Sunday is Mother's Day, right?
Yep.
There could be a game 7 Sunday morning. Oy.
Wow. For Philly. Interesting.
No,
I think
game 6 is Thursday in Philly.
Right. And then game 7
If I
Sunday.
was close, I would be there.
Not Saturday?
No, they're playing Sunday. It says
Okay.
on the schedule that I'm
Makes
looking
sense.
at.
Yeah, extra time off for game 7, and you want the Sunday afternoon audience, which is huge, but
Right.
it is Mother's Day, so on that. But I think there's a lot of pressure coming down on the 34-year-old head coach of the Celtics,
You
and
think?
he's going to have to prove something to Celtics fans now, because this is how you get fired. This type of
He's not
performance.
getting fired.
Just telling you, this is how you get run out of the
Hell
city of
is
Boston.
wrong with you people?
Just telling you the truth. I mean, I'm just telling
Why?
you.
Why is he getting fired? Because they lost to the
Mike
Sixers?
Budenholzer won a championship and got run for losing to the
5
Heat.
years. He got 5 years.
That's nothing. 5 years. This is a 34-year-old head coach who wasn't supposed to be the guy. Remember, this is not his team. Ime Udoka was the head coach of this team. Ime Udoka went to the NBA Finals, not Joe Mazzulla. He's 34. He's really young, and he's looking like a really young coach against experienced coaches like Doc Rivers.
Wow.
And he could wind up facing, if he wins this series, he'll end up facing Eric Spoelstra, who I think will coach circles around him as well. So he needs to come up with a way of either A, motivating his team in a big way.
Can't help him make the shots. You just said they
Can't,
missed all that
correct.
open shots.
That he can't do. But defensively, he can create matchups. There were, I mean, I can't tell you how many miscommunications there were for the Celtics on defense last night. I mean, just a ton of mistakes, mental mistakes, really stupid mistakes that Boston has to find a way now to go on the road with their backs against the wall. I mean, Marcus Smart's quote was unbelievable about, if you're not willing to bleed in the next game, don't get on the court. If you aren't willing to give us everything, give up your body, give up every little bit of yourself, risk injuring yourself, don't play. Don't get. But I think that's a shot at the team.
Is it?
Yes, I think it's a wake up call to the whole, because Marcus Smart's a dog and he's not ever going to be questioned. Look, he won the Hustle Award this year, but there is a level of concern right now. I mean, they put in Peyton Pritchard into the game last night. And even I would have done it too, because nobody could hit a shot, but he hadn't played in 3 weeks. I mean, you're putting in dudes who were just straight up ice cold. It shows the level of desperation.
Stinker of a game, that's all.
Yeah. And that's what he said after the game. He goes, that's the first time in the playoffs so far we've played a really bad game. And I will agree with that. So Boston, during the regular season, when they put up one of those really bad games, normally went on a 4 to 5 game winning streak. We'll see how they respond in game 6. But Jason Tatum.
Sixers played pretty good too, though.
They played tremendously well. I mean, Maxey, all 3 guys were rolling for the first time. Maxey, Embiid, and Harden all had it going in the first half.
Even Tobias Harris hit some nice shots at the right times to keep it rolling.
So if you go by the expectation of what the gambling public will come up with, they expect that to continue, and it will not.
Oh, they're betting the Celtics, 100%.
You think the public will bet the Celtics?
Oh yeah, sound just like you. They ain't gonna lose that game. They bounce. The stats indicate that when they have a bad game like this, they've come back. Oh yeah, the public. But the public can be right too.
Right.
They're definitely going to bet the Celtics. They're not betting the Sixers. No way. No way.
Huh.
No way.
So Embiid hasn't. So the MVP doesn't carry any weight in your mind.
No.
Huh.
No.
I don't know about that. I'm not sure I agree with that.
Somebody just put in the chat too. You could do this. You could bet the Celtics to win the series.
Yes.
At this price.
Yep. We're here. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, I would do it just in case they win game 6, because then you got a plus price in game 7 on
right.
Philly. So we've done this before. We've gone through this exercise since last year. We were talking about this in both the NHL and the NBA playoffs.
Yep.
That if you think the team down 3-2 wins game 6, bet them to win the series, and then bet the dog in game 7, and you're good. You're plus.
I just saw that Winning Las Vegas joined us right now. She's here joining us.
Very good. Appreciate
Always
that.
try to recognize when she's here, considering she's probably one of the few but proud females we have watching the show live, which again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You see that number keeps going up little by little every day. We are building that wall brick by brick. I love it.
Step by step, day by day. The Nuggets did what I thought they were going to do.
Man,
hammered the Suns.
Ass whooping.
Like I thought they would. And I didn't need the 4.5, 5.5, 6.5. Didn't matter. Every number cleared. Game was way over early. The Suns miss Chris Paul. Do they not?
Go over the total? I don't remember.
Yes.
Last night, the total
was 226, was it not? 227?
220. It finished. Went under.
Oh, wow. Went under. Yeah, wow. Went under because of the Suns. Yeah.
Huh. Is it a wrap?
They miss Chris Paul a lot.
Well, 4.5 point favorites.
To win game
3.5
6.
now. Whoop, hit refresh, Dave. Yeah, 3.5 to win game 6. 226.5.
I think it could go. I mean, look,
Like 2 totally different games, right? The one in
but that's
in
the
Denver and
Nuggets,
the one in
right? But that's the Nuggets. Though the Nuggets are different at home. They're different on the road. They're not the same team by any means.
Did
So I
you
think
see Joker grab the ball and do the thing with Ishibia, the owner? That was great. That was funny. He just dispelled the whole notion
But
that
they
there was
both
any
laughed
bit of
about it. It was good.
controversy. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
both
good.
of them were laughing about it. It was great. Yeah,
I love
it was that's his personality. He's a goofball, and he's just, I think he's a really likable guy. And this Nuggets team, I think they can lose in Phoenix. Very possible Booker goes nuclear and takes them to a game 7. I don't think the Suns can win a game 7. I just don't.
Mm.
And I think it's a problem right now for, you look at the Suns and how they're built. I've said this from the get-go. Kevin Durant is a 2024 addition. They'll be
He's right.
phenomenal once he has a training camp and a regular season, and they can work together and they can figure it out together. But so hard to throw a guy like that onto a roster and say, go win a championship.
This just went across ESPN. Game 5 winner in a best of 7 series, tied 2-2.
82% of the time. Yep.
82% of the time. That's 187-41.
Doesn't mean much to me.
Whew.
Doesn't mean much.
82% doesn't mean much?
Mm-mm. No.
Wow.
I mean, it's those types of trends to me. There's so many things that factor in, which is what, how is this, what direction is each one of those things. It's just, I am of the belief that every series is unique. And yes, a team that wins game 5, generally speaking, is the home team. So you win game 5, win game 5, lose game 6, win game 7. So that's more along the lines of how I perceive that.
Are you
to be
guys
happening.
aware of what's going on in the chat right now?
No.
We have a pop-up vote
Of?
right now. If you look down in the chat, Farra, are you responsible for this? This is awesome. Who wins the series? Suns or Denver? I'm voting for Denver. I just hit it right there. Done.
Wow.
Look at all these votes. This is fantastic.
We can do that now live?
We're doing it. All the votes are tabulating. My man.
That. Nice job, Matt.
Farra,
That's cool.
excellent
Wow.
work. Look at that.
I didn't know that was possible. So now every time you do who wins,
ask this.
Yeah, who wins the game, who wins the series, you can just go ahead and put it in there.
We got live BVB polls.
Now, how long? Because I'm assuming Matt's able to just go ahead and say wrap it up, and then once he wraps it up, we can get the actual. Because I would love to see the actual results of this to see.
It sits at the top, like right now. Like people are going in and voting. We're up. There's already been over 50 votes. This is fantastic. I love it.
Yes, DK should sponsor the show for Dave wearing the hat. Austin, I would agree with you on that point.
We're working on that. If you are an agent, you can reach out to me at SportsBK Consig or Matt at Sports
Agent?
Talk Matt.
What do you mean agent? We don't want agents. Agents, what?
We don't. We just want somebody to talk to them on our behalf, at least. If they need to.
Yes, representation.
Representation. What did you mean? Oh, agents? No. Those type of agents.
All right, so the books keep on putting up 5.5 in the NHL, and they keep on getting their ass whooped for doing so.
Get listing glasses for this one.
So this is 7 games in a row. I kept on saying 8 yesterday. I apologize. 7 games in a row.
You said 7 on the show. You tweeted
Correct.
8, but then you corrected yourself with the tweet.
Yes. But I said it wrong yesterday because it was only 6 yesterday, 7 now. So I was always 1. I always added 1. So that's why in my head I was 1 ahead. I thought they played 4 times in the regular season. They played 3 times in the regular season.
Oh,
so that was my math problem. But So after now it's 7. It's 7 for 7 now. 3-0 in the regular season, 4-0 in the playoffs. 5.5 has been covered every single time. They finally have gone to 6 now. They've put it up now. They finally learned their lesson. In game 8, they've gone to 6. But this is what pisses me off because, like, I love it when we have our own little corner of conversation, and I realize that we're not unique. We're seeing things the same way as everybody else. I hate it when the Twitter echo chamber jumps on this stuff. Everyone was tweeting last night, 7 of 7, 7 of 7, 7 of 7. Pissed me off beyond all belief. I was like, man, because what happens? Bang, 6. Now the game goes under.
Does it?
I don't know, but a part of me, that spider sense, that thing in the back of your head going, dang it. Everyone's talking about it now. It's going to go under. Party's over.
I don't know.
It's that part of betting. The one part of betting I'm still trying to figure out is that when do we hit the tipping point? When does the streak go? And when to identify the moment that it's going to go the other way and say, all right, now the algo was right. Now the numbers come into play. They've been telling us it's going to go under. It's going to go under. And oftentimes, and Chris Otto and you have both said this in our chats, Game 5 is when things tend to start to change a little bit because of the way there's only 3 games left in the series. Things shrink. Teams play more conservatively. Is Game 5 when it finally goes under for Seattle and or the Carolina Hurricanes?
I don't think so.
Both games go over again?
I mean, are they both 6?
I know Seattle is 6. Let me see where.
Let's see. New Jersey, 6.
Yes.
So there's only 2 6s. The rest are 5.5s. And Seattle, Dallas, yeah, that's a white flag.
FanDuel is still at 5.5 for both.
5.5 what with the juice on Seattle and Dallas?
128 for the Devils and 142 for the Kraken.
Boys, if you're watching the show with the FanDuel offices as well, because I know the boys at the DK offices are, just move the number. Stop with the 45 juice. Yeah, 48 or whatever. Please, just move it to 6.
Right.
What's the worst that can happen? It falls 6, 4-2, and you push.
Right.
Wouldn't be the end of the world because it keeps going over. I don't know. I hadn't really thought about that yet. I was looking more towards tonight, as far as the hockey, but we'll discuss it tomorrow. The over is going to be favored. It's 6 flat right now. And it's painted 6 flat. Nobody wants to be the first one to go to 15.
I mean, Dave, this was the second time in this series. Or no, I know it's the second time because it happened with Dallas. Yeah, both Dallas, the second period last night for the Hurricanes and the Devils.
Flew over.
And the second period for the Kraken and the
flew over.
The Stars.
Stars.
Both those flew over. But it was 0-0, and then 6 goals got scored for the second time in these playoffs.
1-0. One of the games was 1-0.
That was Seattle. 0-0.
Did New Jersey score first in the first period? It was 1-0 New Jersey. They lost 6-1.
It was 1-1. You're right. It was 1-1. You're right.
Yeah.
That's right. It was 1-0 after the first period in Seattle.
And then it was 1-0 Dallas after the first period. And then all of a sudden it was 4-1.
Yeah, Hurricanes and the Stars both went ballistic last night in the second period.
Yeah. Yep.
And so I know you guys are betting this because you guys are DMing me and telling me this. So again, if the first period under hits, second period over. If the first period over hits, second period under. It's just right now.
See what he did there?
It's working. It's cashing, consistently cashing right now in the playoffs. If you're betting these things live, you're leaving money on the table if you're just betting the first period of the game.
So I was specifically watching the Carolina and New Jersey game. And after the first goal, it really did tighten up. Ice was tight. Like there was a lot of physical play and everything was kept outside. And I didn't see the explosion of goals because I had flipped over to the Sixers game exclusively. I turned it back on and it was already over the total. And So I went back and watched the highlights. It's weird how that happens. I don't think that type of period will happen again. There will
Well,
be
who's in
multiple
net?
goals.
Well,
But
hold on.
no,
Who's in net for New Jersey coming up in the next game?
I don't know.
Because Vanacek going to him was a mistake.
I don't know. Yeah.
Schmidt was playing great, and they decided to go to Vanacek, and Vanacek, whoa, there's a reason why he got pulled.
Yeah.
And he wasn't the guy for the last 4 games, and he probably shouldn't be the guy going forward. Not good.
Not the best.
Not the best. Not the best. He was not good.
Not the
So,
best.
we'll go to that game in a second. But Dallas now 2-2 with the Kraken. Who wins this series?
This one, I am positive whoever wins game 5 wins the series.
So we're going 7. Or
Dallas
going 6,
could win at home and win game 6.
right?
Seattle could win in game 5 and then win game 6. I don't know right now who's winning game 5 because
I mean, on the road, the Kraken are so good.
I know.
They're
I know.
so good.
But I think obviously the winner of game 5 wins it.
Wins the series?
Wins the series.
What if the
it's
Kraken
Dallas,
win?
they win. If the Kraken win game 5, they
win this
they
series.
go clinch it at home. Would that be something?
In 6?
Mm-hmm.
I think that series goes 7.
So if the road team wins, if Seattle wins, Dallas wins at Seattle
Yeah.
in game 6?
Yeah.
I mean, I hope it goes 7. I told you this before. Guys in the book rooting for 7 games, it just means more action.
Yeah.
You know, more action is a good thing for business, for fans, for merch, for concessions, and definitely for sports books. So more is good. I know Edmonton and Vancouver are rooting, or I mean Edmonton and Vegas are rooting for that.
Because they're going 7.
Are they?
Mm.
So Edmonton wins tonight?
I think Edmonton smokes him tonight.
Smokes them?
Backup goaltender, back against the wall. McDavid point, Draisaitl goal. 6-2 final.
Over?
Puck line. Yeah, over. Puck line.
Oh,
yes.
This is like, that's just cash everything.
I would love to see Vegas win this game. They haven't shown me this season that they can win a game like this. Because Toronto very well going to be sent home tonight. So the entire country of Canada's hopes of a cup rests on Edmonton's shoulders.
Why? Why do you have to do that?
Why? It's the truth. It's the truth. What do you mean? They know it. Edmonton knows it.
So
they're going to watch.
Toronto?
They're going to watch Toronto lose tonight, and they're going to go, shit. It's on us, guys. Let's go. We're at home. We're not losing to go down 3-1 and have everyone walk out of that building going, oh my God, 30.
Isn't it more Toronto like that they'll win tonight and then they'll go lose at home?
Maybe. I mean, yeah, possibly. But I think they have a chance to really, they win tonight, they could prolong the series to 6 games. And I don't know if Florida wants to do that.
Toronto's favored tonight.
Uh-huh. Like they should be. I mean, they should
Why
be. I mean,
should they be there?
Because they're
the road team.
They lost in overtime. Like,
they've been close, but
yeah, the bouncing of the puck has to go their way one game. So the books are expecting it to be tonight.
We'll ask the chat. I don't know magically how that happened, but we can ask the chat.
Did we get the results of the first question though?
Leafs or Panthers? The results of the first one was highly in favor. Yeah, there it is right there. Denver. Wow. What's that say? 88%?
Yeah. To Denver? Yes, I agree with that.
Who wins the series? Yeah, Denver. 89%. Suns, 10%. How's that 89 and 10? It's only 99. How's that? We got the math error with the damn
YouTube. Hey, YouTube, you need to fix the
That's
algo.
okay. 55 votes, so that's great. So live, who wins the series? Well, who wins the series? We know that we're going to vote for Panthers.
Yeah.
Somebody voted for the Leafs to win the series? Show yourself. Who voted for the Leafs to win the series? They're not winning 4 games in a row. Come on.
Yeah, Linus, Oilers didn't score on Hill in game 3 because they weren't prepared for Hill. Different story tonight. He's starting the game. Whole different story. Different story. You get thrown in there like that, you don't have time to be nervous. Just go play. Now you got to go and be nervous.
No way. There's no nerves. You're playing on house money right now.
You're up 2-1. The whole team's riding on you. You're playing on house money? No, you're not.
Yeah, we're good. We're going in there and just stop the puck, man. It's like a road game in the middle of February. Go stop the puck.
It's not a road game in the middle of February. It's a game 4
That's
of
the mentality, though.
No, not for
pressure.
A kid coming in like no.
All of the pressure is on the Oilers tonight.
Disagree with that. Not on
They lose. They lose the series.
The players, not Hill. Biggest game of his life is tonight.
Edmonton must win tonight.
Yes.
They lose the game. They lose the series. No.
Yes, but Edmonton
down 3-1
will play
with 3 shots to beat them. 2 of them here.
This is what you're going to see all tonight. The referee skating around like this all night.
Penalties
all night.
Oh, Scott Foster working a game?
Don't matter. It's coming. It's coming. Okay. You breathe on an Oiler tonight.
Penalty?
Straight up penalties are coming.
Oh, man. Come on.
Panthers win the series. Yes, obviously. 15% of you guys think the Leafs going to win the series. Go bet that right now. Go bet it right now if you think so. Price is beautiful.
Canada, we stand on guard for thee, and we
Price
vote
is
for
amazing.
the Leafs to win the series down 3-0.
You know, James is making the same point that I made about a week ago. The Red Sox needed to come back 0-3 to break their curse. That's true. I've talked about that a lot, but this is the difference, though. The Red Sox did it against the Yankees. This is the Panthers, and this is the second round, not the Eastern Conference Finals. So it's a little bit of a different world. Though. If they come back and, but look at the Red Sox. The Red Sox went to the World Series after doing that to the Yankees, and they had 4 games against the Cardinals, who had no shot in hell against them because they were going to steamroll everybody. To win 8 more games, even after coming back, I don't know, man.
It's a big ask.
It's a big ask.
That's a big ask.
It's asking a lot of a team to not just come back.
How about they just win one? Leafs fans, calm down. Just win in Miami. Try that.
Yeah,
that's going to be tough.
Yeah,
Game goes under though, don't it?
Tonight, maybe. Yeah. I don't know though. I haven't touched this game. I don't know what to make of it. I don't like it at all. Don't think there's much you can glean from it. I think you could bet Florida if you want as a home dog, but I don't think there's really much else to bet. Game could fly over. It's an elimination game. Toronto could pull the goalie and have 8 minutes of open net time.
Nothing makes sense for this series.
So yeah, I can't.
Nothing makes sense. I mean, you're supposed to bet under again. I think. Sidewise, it would only be Florida for me. But I mean, I was telling Gabe and Cam last night. They're like, "What side do you like?" I'm like, "I don't really know."
No,
like I don't
either.
Carolina and Jersey yesterday. I said, I don't know. I really don't know. Like, what do you mean? If you had to pick it, who would you pick? I was like, I really don't know. I said,
if I had to pick it, I would pick the Devils.
Jersey because they're at home. But
yeah,
I said, I really like over. That's my place.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be like that though. I mean, Carolina last night in the second period, it was like there wasn't a goaltender there.
Right.
Every time they shot at the net, it was in. Goal, goal, goal. My flash score app wouldn't stop buzzing. I thought it was broken. It's like, how the hell is this real?
By the way, I mean, do you need to have the alert on your wrist watch?
Yes.
I love it. I mean,
it's
came over and we were hanging out. You kept looking at your watch. I'm like, what are you? I felt like I was on the clock with you. And you're like, no, that's the app. I'm like, oh. Okay.
It's unbelievable. They tell you, I love it. They tell you score. And I have it for home runs. And I have it for goals. Those are the two things I've got it on. So whenever when there's a home run, I can see it, and when there's a goal, I can see it.
And you look at it every time.
Yeah, it keeps me. I look down to see what it is. It takes 2 seconds. It's a glance just to keep them, and then it's like, oh my gosh, a moment like walk off grand slam or something. You're like, oh, that's cool. Like you're looking at it, and that's really neat. Or a goal happens, and it was 1-0, then it was 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1. It's like, oh my goodness. I was like, this is awesome.
I was over there with you for the game 3 with the Kraken and the Dallas, and they kept scoring. I didn't correlate until about 4 goals in why you kept looking at your watch. I'm like, is he tired and he wants me to leave? Is that the message to get out of here?
No.
Maddie was tired. I'm like,
no,
you're like,
my phone.
And then when you like, oh, another goal. And I saw you looking at your watch. Then we watched the screen and I saw it 15 seconds later or whatever it was. I'm like, he's got the alert.
Yes, it's all to my phone. Yeah, all from my phone. Because I just put my phone down and walk away, and it's all on my way. It's great. I love
we
it.
need is more distractions for you.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Good.
All right, I'm wearing the Jaguars hat here in consolidation and feeling for my Jag friends. I got friends of mine who are Jaguar fans. The NFL is, to steal your line, I mean, not just one game in Europe. They got 2 now. In back-to-back weeks, they're sending your ass to Europe for 14 days if you're a Jaguar.
It's not even the same city. They're going to London first, then they're flying to Germany for the second one.
It's insane. I mean, just move the franchise. Like, seriously.
I don't want to.
I wouldn't want to either. But this is unfair for a team that's going to be pretty good. The Jaguars are on the come up right now, and we're sticking them in Europe. I mean, look.
2 weeks, middle of the season vacation.
Somebody told me
they're going to be there.
Well, they said, look, they may not stay. They may come back because it's the equivalent of flying to LA. So they may come back. They may not stay. Now, there may be different problems with visas and everything else.
They're going from London to Germany. Why the hell wouldn't they just go from London to Germany?
Because they can go back home and stay there for 3 or 4 days and then practice at home, sleep in your own bed, and then go back.
I don't know. I would be surprised. I mean, when teams play in California and then
there's theories,
Arizona,
though, right? There's theories. Some teams do
and come down. Yeah.
Some teams do. Some teams do not. So, no, wait a minute. Jaguars are playing both games in London, Dave.
No, the first one's in London, and the next one's in Frankfurt, Germany.
Nope, wrong. That's not right. The Falcons versus the Jaguars is October the 1st at Wembley Stadium.
Right.
They're playing the Jaguars are playing the Bills October the 8th at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, both in London. The Chiefs and the Dolphins are playing in Frankfurt on the 5th of November, and the Colts and the Patriots are playing on the 12th of November, also in Frankfurt. Those are the Germany games.
I thought Jaguars got 2 games in Europe, 1 in each.
No, they're both in London. Different stadiums. Tottenham's Hotspur Stadium, which was built with NFL games in mind. They did it
both
so it has.
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy Jack. Thanks, Perrault.
So
thanks, Whitrock.
On that.
Tottenham.
So they might come back. They might or they might not, but it's still to ask. So now there's 2 things for us as gamblers we have to take into account coming forward this season in the NFL. One, you can play on Thursday night twice. That used to be a season thing. Now it can be twice, which is tough, which is difficult. Short weeks, body gets banged up and bruised. You can play on Thursday night 2 times now.
Okay.
And now we're sending a team that could win the South to Europe for 2 weeks.
Right.
To play against the Bills, that's a big game.
It is a big game.
And now it's being sent over to London. The Falcons game is whatever, but a game that the Jags should win. But the Bills game is a measuring stick game for them to see where they're at. One of the best teams in the AFC. All right, let's see where we are. Trevor Lawrence, let's go. I can't believe it. I think it's just, I'm shaking my head at it. These guys are still human beings, okay? They aren't robots.
I don't think it's that big a deal. I think the
NFL games NFL games in Europe suck. They never fall the way they're supposed
to. They love it.
Well, they love it, but they don't play. The games aren't played the same. Numbers are all at the window. Time zones and way they prepare and where they practice. It's all out the window. I've
never once put a London game in the contest pick.
Right. Yeah, that was one of your rules.
Contest,
right. Never check a lot. And there's a reason for that because you cannot handicap it properly. You have no clue what's going to happen.
It's difficult. It's difficult between the field conditions being different than anywhere, and then you don't know the travel, the practice, all the stuff. There's so many factors in all of it.
JC from Casey is pissed off because Tyreek Hill's first matchup against the Chiefs will happen not in Kansas City.
Oh,
it'll happen in Europe. In Germany. So you gotta fly a long way to go boo Tyreek Hill if you're a Chief fan.
That's That's crazy. Like that's a bigger deal to me. That's a big game. Like that's a
Huge
division.
game.
That's
Yeah.
like it's an AFC game, not a division game. So they don't take division games over there,
Right.
pretty much, right? It's just conference games.
Yeah.
Who gives up the home game in that situation?
Whatever team is required to do so. It rotates.
So the
I mean,
Jags gave up 2 home games, you
No,
think, or
one home game, one road game is what they gave up. So the home team, I think, it's either the Falcons or I think it was.
They gave up I mean, the Bills did not give up a home game. There's no way.
I think the Falcons
Falcons
did.
had to give up the home game, right?
Yeah. Who's listed first on the matchups is the question, because Falcons versus Jaguars is listed, and then it's Jaguars versus Bills. So my gut tells me is that the Bills are the home team by the way it normally is listed, but I'm not sure.
If you're an owner, do you want to go over there with your team
Of course,
as the home team?
100%. If I'm not
Want to give
playing
up
in
a
the
home
game,
game?
yeah, 100%. The benefit, the money that you'll make, yeah, tons. You'll make so much money on merch. When the Patriots played over in Germany, they sold out of every single bit of Patriot memorabilia that was sold. They sold all of it. Nothing was left.
You get 8 home games a year as the owner. Giving up 1?
Patriots gave it up to go play the Colts. Pat's Colts is in Germany. Yes, as a ticket holder, I'm not happy. The loser here is the season ticket holder of the fan base. That's the loser.
I guess they're doing something by pushing the teams over there and getting this going and doing it more and selling out stadiums, selling merch and all this stuff. Okay, that's good. I just know
it is a Bills home game.
Wow.
It's a Bills home game. Yeah.
Wow.
So they're listed, at least ESPN is listing them as the home team. So it could move, but ESPN is listing the Bills as the home team.
Right.
And the Jags as the road team. And for the Jags first game, the Jags are being listed as the home team on the 1st of October. Oh boy.
I don't know. I don't like we had to get up so early in the morning to get the book ready. We had to schedule someone different to come in early to make sure that we had someone in case people walked into the book. It's perfect for East Coast time. This is one where the East Coast wins.
Agreed.
With these,
although I can't say I dislike a 6 a.m. kickoff on the West Coast. It is pretty fun. Once in a while, it is fun.
I miss the first half of every one.
Of course, most people do. Yeah.
It's just I can't get up and go, yes, like can't. It's usually, Jags Colts or something, and it was like I'll catch the score at halftime and see what it is when I wake up. Like it's not set your alarm clock and get up for.
Right.
Whereas if it's, this Chiefs Dolphins might be, that's not bad, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of the London games.
We got to get used to it because there's going to be a division.
There's going to be more. You think there's going to be a division?
I do.
Not anytime soon, like 5 years or something, right?
Yeah, but I think there's going to be a division. I think there's going to be at least 3 teams over there, and probably 4, because they'll probably make a fifth division, and put a team in Frankfurt, put a team in 2 teams in London, 1 team in Frankfurt, and then somewhere else.
2 teams in London?
Yeah, they'll put one at Wembley Stadium, and they'll put one at Tottenham Stadium, Hotspur. I mean, the Tottenham Stadium was built with football in mind. There's a football locker room. There's the sight lines, the way it's designed. Like it is a soccer stadium, but it has American football lines, sight lines, and press boxes and everything else. It was built to have a football team there. Okay. Same thing with the one in Frankfurt, Germany as well. Like this is a long game. This has been going on. A lot of conversations with the NFL and the folks in Europe. This has been a thing since they started NFL Europe back in the day. This is where the NFL believes their growth potential comes from, is by putting a team in Europe or teams in Europe.
Expansion teams?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Maybe Jacksonville. Maybe that's the one you move and you have 3 expansion teams. But yes, I think expansion is what they'll go with.
It's funny. Raider Nation just put in the chat. Problem is, Matt, is everyone here already supports a team?
What do you mean? I'm confused. What? The problem
Everybody
is
over there already supports a team.
until they play in their backyard. Then it's just like when the Raiders moved here, people who were fans of Browns and Broncos, and then they became Raider fans.
Maybe
It's the same thing. People, I mean, if your team, if you're the Tottenham, Vikings or whatever, people will become Viking fans.
Is there enough appetite for American football over there?
Well, they're going to build it. That's why it's not happening right now. They're doing it more and more and more and more. There was 1 game, then there was 2 games,
right?
Then there was 4 games. Now there's 6 games. Like it's just slowly but surely growing and growing and growing. They're just trying to get people's attention and get people interested and excited about the potential, to have a team. But I mean, there's 5 games. Sorry, there's 5 games now. So, I mean, when they started playing 1 game a year, that was news. 2 games. Now there's 1 team playing 2 games over there. It's just every year we're just growing it and growing it and growing it and growing it. So, and this will take us to our next story because we got our first Black Friday game ever. The NFL is playing on a Friday. This is sacred ground. Like you just don't touch this. This has always been high school football ground. Fridays are no fly zone. Jets and the Dolphins are now playing on Amazon Prime
on a Friday.
First ever,
the Black Friday.
The Black Friday. It's Tua versus Aaron Rodgers. 3 p.m. Eastern time start on the 24th of November at MetLife Stadium. Thursday Night Football will be the moniker they use for this.
This is only going to upset a lot of families that have to do shopping and things like you didn't have anything going on Black Friday, so you could whatever.
Why are you shopping?
Wifey or girlfriend needed to do. Now we have
shopping
to
online.
Watch Jets Dolphins.
But why are you shopping online on Black Friday?
Well, I mean, maybe I would be watching. The kids are off of school,
right?
So maybe I would be watching the kids while errands were being run or things like that. Now, but are you watching a football game? This is going to cause a problem. They got to do this every day. Like we're going to have football every day at some point. I mean, there's football on Christmas. That used to be the NBA's day.
Not anymore.
They just came and said, we're putting a game on.
So now on that week, we will have 3 games on Thursday, 1 game on Friday, and the rest on Sunday.
Oh, they're not taking a Saturday game there?
Not there, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Because that's still college football because they don't touch it in November. They don't play Saturdays until December, until after the college football. But this Black Friday day is a high school football and college football staple. This is where all the big college football rivalries get played either Friday or Saturday. So you're stomping on the college football world and
this is when football. They play for that pig thing.
Yeah, but I mean
Iowa, Nebraska.
That's not the pig. The Iowa, Nebraska is Minnesota, but Iowa, Nebraska is the Heroes Trophy. Yes, that's when they play that. I think the Iron Bowl is still going to be played on Saturdays, but there's a litany of games that are always played on Black Friday.
I love when you use litany. I do. Our vocab on the BVB is pretty impressive. Every once in a while we throw these words out. And then I hear them on another show and I'm like, coincidence? Maybe. I don't know.
So that game is going to be phenomenal to watch, I think, because Amazon knows what everyone does on Friday. I have a fear, I'm not going to lie. Amazon better be ready because there's going to be a lot of people shopping on Amazon. And now,
now you're showing an NFL game.
And now you're showing an NFL game.
People
so the traffic load is going to be just a little bit heavy on that day for Amazon. So don't crash, Amazon. Like, let's not have any. Let's make sure you guys are prepared for the amount of traffic you're about to get on Black Friday.
People will be shopping on their Amazon app.
That's what I mean.
With the game on
Yeah.
in the square. Like,
Yeah.
it'll be.
Yeah. It's a precursor. This is all a precursor to what eventually will
this
happen.
is the test? Oh.
Well, I don't know if it's a test yet, but Amazon's going to start popping things up on your screen to buy. Amazon's going to start putting up hats and T-shirts and in different deals. The cookies on your phone, the cookies on your computer, cookies on your TV. Want to buy this? Want to buy that? Want to buy this? Want to buy that? Which will all be a precursor to want to buy this bet?
No,
it's coming.
Stop.
It's coming. It's all a precursor. It's all going to be there where they're going to say, hey, buy a T-shirt for $24 or buy the point spread at -2.5. You want that right now? Which one? Which one you want to buy?
No, I don't like any of this talk. That's no good. That's too much.
Precursor.
I don't want that.
That's what we're doing. It's where we're going. So put your DK hat back on real quick for 1 second. We just want to say congratulations to our friends. You went there today and they made the announcement today. So it was nice little synergy for you heading over to DraftKings. Their thing. DraftKings today made an announcement on their brand new Fast channel. Happy birthday to Emerson Latzia, who is a big part of what DraftKings will be doing with this new Fast channel that they've got up there, which is the free advertiser-supported television, is what Fast stands for. They got a bunch of shows on there, a bunch of our friends, Anik and Florian, John Anik, friend of the show. Right. Good stuff there. We have not had Jared Carabas yet on the show. We probably need to rectify that at some point and get Carabas on. But Emerson and all the folks, I'm assuming Julian's going to be doing stuff with them too, with that.
I don't know.
So we have a lot of friends who work at DraftKings, a lot of in the talent world. And so just a congratulations to them for make that announcement today. Them and Vox Media made that announcement today for them on that. And it's Emerson's birthday and you went to DraftKings today. So it all kind of came together to bring it up and just to give a little tip of the cap to those guys with what they're doing.
Emerson may be joining us tomorrow.
Phenomenal. He's a Jaguar fan. We can talk about his team being sent to Europe.
I tried to get him today. He was very busy today with some other stuff, but
I'm assuming the sweat's going to be on there. I think the sweat's going to be on there.
Well, I told him we would talk to him about whatever he wanted to talk about.
Beautiful.
And he could prep you for the Celtics losing in Game 6 tomorrow. Give you a boots on the ground feel for what
prep. He's not boots on the ground. What do you mean? He's in Boston. No boots on the ground.
What it's like to be in Boston when the team loses like that. That's all I'm saying.
You think I don't know that? You think I don't know what it's like?
You forgot what it's like.
No, I grew up in the 80s. You never forget what it's like. I watched 45-10. I watched a Super Bowl. Okay, you don't got to remind me what it's like to be on the ground when the bottom falls out. This is very familiar territory. People were always like, "You got to feel for Boston fans." I'm like, dude, if you're under the age of 30, I'll give you that. Okay. But if you're over the age of 35, this is like a warm blanket. You're used to all this. This is just coming back home. This is like, okay, like we've all been through this. The scar tissue is so deep and thick that we're good. Like we're good. We know what this is like. This is very much, last 25 years, it was one way. We're going back to the 80s. All right. And we're all perfectly comfortable with that. We understand that. So I don't rant and rave. I'm not getting mad. I'm not spitting nails. Like I was bummed when the Bruins lost because I wanted to see history. I wanted to see them do it. Celtics losing, watched it last year. I mean, okay. I mean, I don't know. I still think
you 2 days ago or last week when the
Bruins lost.
The Bruins lost. I said, which would you take harder? You said
Bruins.
the Celtics.
No, I did not. To the Bruins. You asked me the question, I answered. You don't listen. You don't listen to your own questions. I said Bruins. So nothing can top what the Bruins did. Celtics losing is okay. It happens. I didn't change. That's a the Bruins by far were the worst loss. Go look back. Roll the tape, Mikey. Awesome. Go back. I guarantee you I said the Bruins. Celtics losing it stinks, but nothing can top what the Bruins having that happen. That was awful. Because it happened in the first round on top of that. Didn't even get out of the first round. So that's the problem with that. It's like, come on, bro. All right. Jimmy Butler will play tonight for the Heat. The number has been slowly coming down. It was high as 4.5, now 3.5 for Miami. Total is 209. That's been coming down. That's a good number, is it not? 2 of these games have fallen 210. Like, it's tough. Yeah. I stared at this going, I want to bet under. I'm like, this is literally going to be 1 or 2 free throws away from going over.
Probably.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't pull the trigger on it.
I still think it's under, but it's close. Is
It's
it
gonna be
over for the
really-
Knicks? Is it done?
Yeah, I think the Heat went out right tonight. Yeah,
It's finished.
yeah,
Oh man,
it's closing time.
I didn't bring the Heat hat. I should have brought the Heat hat for the show. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to tell all of our friends that are content creators and Knicks fans. Sure seems like there's a lot of them when the series starts, but when it gets like this, I can't get a hold of nobody.
I don't know.
One of
It's
them
all
to come on the show.
It's all Bing Bong, and now it's semisonic time for them.
Told
So
you,
they're all
like,
sad.
Yeah, it was Bing Bong. Now it's Ding Dong. The Knicks are dead. That's it. It's done.
Yeah, start playing.
I hope it's
semisonic in
tonight.
the locker room.
I hope it's tonight for the Knicks fans.
I think
End
it
it
is.
quick, just like the Band-Aid. Just rip it off.
Yeah,
Don't wiggle it because you pull the hairs and then
yeah.
it stays on. And now we got to go back to Miami and listen to all that stuff. We don't want that. Do we
No.
want that?
Nope.
I don't want any more games in this. I love games. More games as the book. Give me more games. Give me more stuff. Not this stuff. I don't want
Agreed. End it. Slam the door shut and then be able to move on. Game 2 is the Warriors and the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Line is 7. Total is 226. I am literally the emoji this on this game. I have no idea.
Oh,
I have
who
no idea.
are you betting tonight? Is live in the chat right now. Warriors -7.5. Lakers plus 7.5.
Is it 7 or 7.5 now?
7.5. Painted
It went
7.5.
up. Wow. Okay. It was 7. It's
I will
pre-taped.
vote right now. I'm
What are you
going
voting?
to vote. I don't know. Hold on. I'm thinking. 7.5. All right.
It's
I voted.
hard. I mean, I'm completely
Hesitated. I didn't know. I was going to hit one, then I hit the other one. And if I
Yeah.
could, I think I would void my ticket and go change it right now. I don't know.
Right.
I voted Lakers plus 7.5.
I think props are the only way. To be honest.
I don't even like the total in this game.
Nope. Agreed. I don't like anything. I don't like a side.
This is
total.
hard.
Nothing. I agree. I don't like money line on either side. I like Anthony Davis to have a big game. I like Steph Curry to have a big game, and that's it.
Lakers. -8 at South Point. Clearly the Lakers with the hat. I didn't realize I did that. This is the kids got me this hat, and I couldn't
it's a nice
find the
hat.
Warriors one. Did you see Greeny said that Lakers should rest LeBron tonight?
I did, and then I saw JJ Redick lose his mind on.
Why
First
would
Take.
you do that?
I told you that yesterday. I
Why
said
would
to you
you
that
rest them?
that's a loud conversation going on. I said it to you. You're like, what do you mean? I'm like, they're thinking about resting. Yes, about load management in the playoffs. It's insane, but they are thinking about it. Yes. Looney Tunes. Imagine punting on a playoff game. Could you imagine that?
An elimination game at that. This isn't game 1 where we got more games to play. We can put
End
them away and rest for a week.
Yeah, a while.
I don't get it.
Nor do I. They won't do it. I think it's just nonsense. I don't buy it. South Point went to 8. Wow. Chris goes ahead of the market.
Let's see. Yeah. Where are they at here? He is. He went to 8. He wants to see. Everyone else is paying at 7.5. Huh.
30 votes and split 56-42. How about that?
Good number. That's
a
what a
good
good
number.
number's supposed to do right there.
Yeah.
Split up the bets, a little bit here, a little bit there, give us a little decision, and we're good to go. Ooh.
Chris said, I can't even turn on an NBA game with the hockey on. I can, but I do understand your point, Chris. I do. Lakers Warriors has some real big implications, though.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
if the Warriors
we'll check.
lose, there's a lot of conversations about what will happen in the future. Like, is the dynasty over? Do you break them up? Do you trade somebody? Do you get rid of Draymond? Do you trade Clay? Like, what's the, you're going to keep Curry.
Does that happen with the Lakers if they lose?
Did they blow a 3-1 lead? Yes, 100%. They blow a 3-1 lead. Everything's on the table for the Lakers.
Right.
If that happens. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, though.
Yeah.
Got to win one of the next 3 games. That's all they got to do.
This is crazy. I just peeked up at ESPN. I was doing shows with both Bobby Marks and Kendrick Perkins a year ago. They're both on ESPN now talking about it.
When were you doing that with Perk?
And me and stuff. Back in the beginning days of Costos and me and him were on shows together. And Perk was nuts. Just like,
oh, yeah.
He had to be reeled in. Somebody must have tapped him on the shoulder and said, "You can't say all this stuff you're saying." He changed because he's wearing a suit now and he's on there. But I just looked over and I'm like, wait, those two, that was the show. That's pretty funny. That's all right. Just like they said in Gridiron Gang, I wouldn't pick them. I would pick you. We're right here at the BBB. Right here.
Thrive and Prosper prop bet of the day has hit 2 consecutive days. Being presented by Thrive Fantasy. Can we make it 3 in a row?
It's a close
here. Both of them been close. Actually, well, Anthony Davis was 38.5. It hit 38 under hit. Under 13.5 rebounds, assists. Booker had 10 last night. So we had a little breathing room. But again, the fourth quarter has helped us tremendously well in both these games because they've gotten very close to the number and then just kind of like stopped. So it's been good late for us on these. This is being brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. You guys can eliminate the countless hours of research and focus only on the top tier athletes that have the biggest impact on the game. Thrive offers user versus user prop tournaments for all major sports and has top multipliers in their prop lobby where you can build an entry and win up to 20 times your money. It's pretty interesting. I was fooling around with it last night a little bit money wise and looking at it and like, you bet $5 to win 50 on a 4-leg parlay, prop parlay.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not bad. So, I mean, that's 10 times your money.
Yeah.
It's 10 to 1 return on a 4-legger. And it's not that hard to hit a 4-leg prop parlay. So
no,
it's hard, but it's not, I think a 4-leg game is much more difficult than a 4-leg prop.
Fair.
Personally.
Fair.
I think it's easier in the prop market. Promo code BVB when you sign up today, you'll receive a 100% instant first deposit match for up to $250. You can download the Thrive Fantasy app in the App Store or the Play Store, or simply go to bvbshow.com. That is our Discord channel. Go under sponsor. There's a direct link that will already have the BVB code pre-populated in your app when you do it. Let's see if we can hit another one. Anthony Davis, over 16.5 rebounds and assists. This number at Caesars is -117 if you were going to bet it.
Wherever your state applies, by the way, can do Thrive.
Yes.
Otto just came in the chat and said you can't do it in PA.
Correct. You can't do it. There are 33 states where it's legal.
Okay.
It is legal in Nevada.
Pennsylvania is not one of them.
Which is weird, right? That's strange. It's not legal in Pennsylvania. It's legal in Nevada. It's legal in Utah, but not Pennsylvania. It's weird.
It's actually kind of strange. There's probably not many things in life that are legal in Utah that aren't legal in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's
now that you
strange.
said that out loud, that doesn't make no sense to me. Anthony Davis, over 16.5 rebounds and assists. You left out the scoring one today? You don't want no points things here?
I believe Davis could have a huge rebounding game tonight.
Okay.
I think he may get 15 boards tonight.
All right. So his rebound prop is 13.5 with over -135.
Mm-hmm.
His assist prop is only 2.5.
2.5. Yeah. And it's even money on the over. Or no, under even money, -128 to the over. I think he gets 15 and 3.
What stops him from getting this? Foul trouble? I mean, obviously injury, but foul trouble, right? He's getting at least 12 rebounds, no?
Yes, I think energy late. He needs to be in the fourth quarter of the last game. He looked tired. Needs to have the energy for all 4 quarters to get after it. But I think this is where you could have, he may go nuts offensively tonight. This is an odd game. Game one went crazy. Game 3 went crazy. Games 2 and 4 did not. This
Right.
isn't game 5.
Right.
I think on the book, because I can't trust the shot to be there to score. So 24.5 is the scoring prop for Davis tonight. So I'm not
Would you
positive.
bet that over under if you had to?
Probably over, but I think it's a good number.
It is.
So I think I'm more inclined to go with the rebounds to get 15 rebounds.
Okay.
And for him to have 3 assists to go over this.
All right.
Effort and energy
over.
plays.
Again, it's hard. This is
It's
not
tight.
going to be easy. He ain't getting,
No.
he's not getting, 25.5 here. You're not going over this number by more than like 3.
In the first game at Golden State, the number was 16.5, and he wound up with 28.
Oh, wow.
Okay? He went crazy. In the second game,
way over. Okay.
but that was the game he went for like 30 and 20. Remember the first game he was insane.
Yeah.
Then it was 16.5. He got 11. It went under. It was 16.5. He got 16.
Okay.
Under by a hook. 17.5. 17 under by a hook. So the numbers have been pretty right here.
Oh.
So 16.5 is going to be 1 or 2 here or there. It's not going to be, you're right. It's not going to be an easy, but I think 15 boards, I would bet over on the rebounds. And then I think he could be a big passer of the basketball tonight. Offense runs through him. Second chance opportunities.
Well, I don't know. We should do the ask the chat. This is a good one. Ask the chat. Over or under. Just points or rebounds and assists for Anthony Davis. You can just type over or under if you want to do it. I want to quickly mention a couple of my odds maker friends that I know are in here. Okay. One is Les Deuces to Les, watching it down south.
What's up?
Different parts. And then TK, our friend Tom.
Hey,
he's here right now. He just came in to chat. He said, get ready for Giants baseball. He's a huge Giants fan. He won't let it go that the Giants are not good anymore. They do stink. I mean, facts are facts. He's one of the best odds makers walking planet Earth, and a dear friend of mine. He's absolutely 100% wrong about the Giants. They just aren't good. TK, I don't know how to tell you this. You have to accept it.
Tough division.
Yeah, it's a tough division. And I mean, it just let it go. Just let
no,
it
he's
go.
a fan. Don't tell him to go. Be a
you
fan.
gotta let it go.
TK, be a fan. Do you fly your flag, man? Be you. Don't listen to that. Be your fan.
Over or under for this prop. Over under. Oh, they're putting under. What did you say? Over?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. I love when the check goes against me. I hate when they're with me.
You hate when they're with you? Even Jordan 1-star Goroff?
I hate when the worst thing is whenever somebody comes in to me and says, I love that play. I'm like, oh no, that's not good.
Now you know. Now you're really living the life.
Yeah,
that's the absolute worst. Yes. When the mush used to come up to the window.
I don't believe in mushes. I don't believe mushes.
No. But like we had guys that we just knew like they were there every day and they never won. They'd come up and they'd go, man, I love Anthony Davis over rebounds and assists tonight. And you're like, how much? And they would go $5 or whatever, or $20. And you're like, okay. And you'd hand them the ticket knowing you had already bet it. And you're just like, I'm dead.
Jay Lag makes a good point. Under 14.5 rebounds for AD, thinking the Warriors blow out until they limit AD's playing time. That is the only fear I've got. You're right.
Good point.
But I'm
blowout gets you.
Correct. But a blowout gets me anyway. But a blowout would get me on anything. On his points, on his rebounds. Blowouts destroy.
A Laker blowout doesn't get you. A Laker blowout, you're good.
You think the Warriors could get blown out tonight by the Lakers?
No,
I don't.
I think the Warriors could blow them out, though.
Yes, fair. Yes, I think that's so that you're right. That is definitely a fear, but that's why I only bet a quarter unit on props for that very reason. Injuries, game flow. People who bet full units on prop betting, I tip my cap to you. You got a harder stomach than I do. I can't do it. It just pisses me off too much. Mm-hmm. Prop betting is way too crazy and way too up and down, and it's I can't do it. AD over 2.5 assists is safer. Yeah, I would agree. But again, AD just has the ball find him just by being on the court. So if he's on the court, he's going to get 12 boards, like Dave said. It's just a matter of how many more over 12 does he go. And by the way, if he got 14 rebounds, he would go under 14.5. He can have 3 assists. It goes 17 and we cash. So if you like the over assist, under could be 14, 3 assists. That's under over, like you're saying,
There
but
you
my
go.
my combination still cashes. So just a thought there on that. So back to hockey.
Yep.
We got Toronto tonight. The Leafs are favored. They're down 0-3. The total is 6.5. You like Panthers and the under tonight?
I like under.
What happens if it's a 4-1 game and Toronto pulls the goalie? I can't bet under in this game. No way.
I hate betting under in elimination games, and I hate having an elimination game in a series after only 3 games.
Yeah, I can't. No way. I'm not
too
even
hard.
I can't even begin to talk about the under in this game. That's no way. That's a complete no-fly zone for me.
It's got to be done. Can't.
It may hit. It may be a good play. I'm not going to sit there in the third period of a 3-1 hockey game and watch the thing end, 5 or 6-1 and go, give me a break. How did that happen? That's ridiculous.
I feel for the Leafs fans. A little bit. Just end it. Panthers, Hurricanes.
There's some diehards who believe they're coming back, though, right? There are some diehard Leaf fans that believe just get tonight. Just get tonight, get it back to Toronto, win game 6, go to game 7, anything can happen. I guess not get more than that. They got to win game 4, then win game 5, then go back to Florida, win game 6, and then get it back to Toronto. It's not 3-1, 3-0, I forgot. So it's 3-0. So you got it's a steep climb.
4 in a row.
Yeah.
I don't know how we can get that high. I don't think
it's
we
hockey,
can.
though. I mean, you got to get the momentum back, right? You got to get the belief. You win one, you might believe. You might go, all right, let's see. At some point, the magic for the Panthers is going to go away. At some point, they're going to cool off. They've been the hottest team over the last 2 weeks in the NHL. They're going to regress back to the mean. And when that happens, when does that happen? Because it very well might happen in the Cup Finals. Or the Eastern Conference Finals, or it could happen in this series. But at some point, I do think that's coming for the Florida Panthers.
Paulo De Silva just came in and said, I'm a sad Leafs fan.
Sorry, bud. It's a tough one, man.
Yeah. JGL Jag? J almost said Jagoff just because JGL Jag. The Leafs are going to get gentlemen swept.
4-1.
Yeah.
Possible, but then that means they're losing at home. Then I would feel bad for the Leaf fans. They lose game 5 at home with all those people
That's
out
the
in
way
Maple
it
Leaf Square.
goes, though, right?
All those people out in Maple Leaf Square have to watch their team get 4-1, get bounced. That's ouch.
Cam told a great story. Cam and Gabe, who I do the show with on Sports Grid. Cam's in Toronto. He's a diehard Leafs, Blue Jays, the whole thing. He actually went to the Blue Jays game last year where they were leading 9-3 and lost. And he said there was a kid on the train going home with his dad. He just kept saying, how could they lose, Daddy? How could they lose? And he was crying. And Cam wanted to tell him, do yourself a favor, kid. Don't be a Toronto fan.
Stop being. Stop caring.
That's right.
Move on. Don't have it be. Don't be so passionate about it. Oh, it sucks. Oh, I know that feeling. It's so bad. Such a bad feeling. All right, the real game of the night tonight, in my mind, is Edmonton Vegas. This is where I will be watching. My full attention will be on this game.
You're convinced this is the blowout, huh?
I think Edmonton kills them.
Kills them.
Yeah, I do. I think this is all Oilers. Minimum 2 power play goals tonight for Edmonton.
What if they don't get power plays? What if they play the discipline game again?
They're not going to. They're going to get called for everything. If Toronto loses, I'm even more sure of it.
So this series is going 7.
I think so. I've thought the whole time the series is going 7. Yeah.
6 or 7 was almost a lock. How about the total?
Over.
You ain't afraid of 7 at all.
I'm going to do it again to myself.
I mean, we got over 6.5.
If it falls 5-1
after the first and the final.
I'm more prepared. I'm more prepared to lose a 1-unit play at 7 than a 1.35 unit play at 6.5. I'm okay with losing 1 unit. If it goes
okay.
6,
Okay.
fine. If it goes 7, it's a push. More comfortable with that than coming in with the juice of minus 135, knowing I need 7 to win anyway. And the last 2 times I bet over 6.5 and got burned by laying the juice of 125 and 135.
So is this a pregame underplay then? Play it under and then go over with
I mean, you
no
could.
score in the first 5 minutes. I mean, this goes right to the number you want.
Which is what? 6? I want 6.
Now, if there's no goal score, if this closes 7,
Yep.
which it will, unless somebody decides to get off 7 and go to 6.5, you get a scoreless first 5 minutes, it goes to 5.5.
5.5.
Juice over. Yeah. You can get the 6 as the win. Yeah.
In the first 5 minutes of the game, the algorithm's going to drop it to 5.5 after 5 minutes. What?
If there's no power play goals, none of that stuff, yeah.
In the first, not first 10, first 5.
It may take 8 minutes because they run the juice now. They leave it on the number 6.5 and go all the way up to like minus 230.
I got to watch this now because I've never seen that type of a goal and a half in the first 5 minutes. I've never seen movement like that.
Well, because there's so much wiggle room, and you might actually write some bets the other way. Yeah. If it can move it very aggressively like that. Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, the feeds I watch the most during hockey games, I watch DraftKings feeds, I watch the Westgate's feed, and I watch offshore feeds.
Okay.
That's right. And to go get a goal and a half in the first 5 minutes, I'm going to watch that now because
It has to close 7. It might close 6.5.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it closes. I mean, even Circa's at 7.
No, they're not. They're at 6.5.
Oh, I bet 7 there last night, plus 110.
Yeah, they're 6.5. That's what I'm saying. It's changed to 6.5 in 5 places on my odd screen.
Circa's now at 6.5.
DraftKings has 7.
Okay, well then maybe it could go to 5.5. Okay.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
it's only one number.
Right. Okay.
From 6.5 to 5.5 because they don't.
But 7 to 5.5 is a big difference. It leaves that middle wide open.
If it closes,
it's a dream.
I meant if it closes 6.5. So
I already bet over 7, so I've already just said fine. I'll take it because I'd rather not pay the juice like I paid yesterday or last time in game 3.
I was sitting with the guys in the room while they were doing the numbers. It was actually pretty fun. I'm going to save that for best thing about today. But I walked around and John introduced me around.
Nice.
And I'll save it for best thing about today. Go ahead.
A little baseball update. We got day baseball because it's a Wednesday. So your Pittsburgh Pirates will be in action later today.
They're playing right now.
Oh, they lost. They lost 4-3. Game's over. How is that game over already? McCutcheon went deep.
9:30.
12:30 Eastern time Wednesday start. Why? Is that normal?
Business person special.
Getaway
day.
I know it's getaway day, but that's even early for getaway day.
Oof. Well, they get the first flight out.
So the Rockies they fly charter. What are you talking about?
Get the first flight out.
They fly charter. They fly when they want to leave. They don't get the first flight out. So the Rockies took 2 out of 3. They took.
Yes, they did.
Wow. All right. Even if the Pirates bounced back on that. I had thought about betting under in the first 5 in that game.
Rich Hill under.
It went under?
Went under again, yeah.
I thought about betting under first 5. I know the game went under, but the first 5 go under too?
Yeah.
Let's see. What happened in this game? So, no, it did not. 6 runs. 6 runs. 3 by the 3.
Oh, I thought it was 3-3 after 6. All right, good. Yeah, over.
It went over the first 5. Glad I didn't bet.
So you saved the money.
I saved it there. Didn't bet it. That's good. I'm glad I didn't bet it. Right now, it's 1-0 Mariners, top of the second against the Rangers. It's 0-0, bottom first for the Nationals and the Giants. It is Dodgers just went final against a bunch of finals. Dodgers 8-1 against the Brewers, and the Tigers 5-0 against the Guardians. A's and the Yankees 11-3. Oh, because we started so late today. That's why. I'm like, how are so many of these games final? We're never on the air at 1 o'clock. That's why. I'm like, okay,
Right.
this is freaking me out. I'm like, how is this? How fast are these baseball games going? I'm like, oh, we didn't start till 11:10 Pacific time today.
Started later
That's
today.
why.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, okay, now I get it.
Yes.
Okay, this tweet I want to put on the screen because I think it's interesting because we've talked a lot about the scandals and what's been happening. This comes from a guy named Brian, I think it's Tui, I think I say his name. He's the author of the book Game Fixing Expert and Scholarly Authority. New book, The Fix is Still In, just came out. So this is a guy who writes about illegal activity, game fixing, what's going on. His tweet said, 5 NFL players suspended for gambling, and now the head coach of Alabama baseball, plus now Iowa State athletes. But these are, quote, isolated incidents and won't affect the, quote, integrity of the game. To me, this sounds like this is just the beginning, but no one will know the depths because no one is going to look further. Is that fair? We called tip of the iceberg before, but do you think this is a situation where no see, no foul type of situation? We don't want to know. Don't tell us. Will start to become a reality.
So I'm texting Brian right now.
Oh, you know him?
Yeah.
How you say his last name?
Tui.
Okay.
Unless it's Tuhoy, which he's changed it, but I know it is that. But I'm texting him right now because I'm telling him we're talking about him.
Okay.
I've had a couple really good conversations with him in the past about all of this. How do I say it? The actual implication or possibility of something going on could be worse than actually something going on in that regard.
I would agree. Boogeyman. Yep.
The fact that it could be misconstrued that something's going on or assumed that something's going on until you know, that's worse. Because now it can be put out all over. So
it's funny because there's a scene in Ted Lasso this season where, if you haven't seen it, kind of a spoiler alert, but I'll give it to you anyway.
People don't like spoiler alert.
I know, but like he's worried about his ex-wife getting married to another person. And so he wants a private investigator to go out there and investigate it to find out. And one of the characters in the show basically says to him that, like, what does it matter? You have to live your life. Like, either you're going to bet this stuff or you're not. You can't be worried about whether or not something is going to be on the fixed, on the in. So I think you're right. I think the worry that something could be nefariously going on is way worse than whether or not it actually is. The anxiety that's created around the possibility of a game being fixed, because if you win, no one says shit. If you lose, the first thing you're going to go to is, oh, you fucked me. That's it. You got me. That's fixed. That ref, that coach, that player. How do you drop that pop-up? That was intentional. How do you miss that ground ball? You must have done it on purpose. Yeah, I would agree with you. I think that it is way worse.
I was on yesterday I went on a show on Sirius XM with Bobby Carpenter. Played football at Ohio State, Ohio State
linebacker. Yeah.
And an LSU football player named Jacob Hester.
Fullback, yeah.
They were asking me questions about it. And this is kind of what I said to them. I said, guys, it's not always like that. You guys played the sport. You know how important. I lived with guys that played on a Penn State football team that couldn't afford a pizza. Like, there's going to be times where people are going to say stuff that's just simply not true, but could be. Because, sure, kids aren't making any money in college, so they can get got to and all kind of things. And you're like, come on. I don't like all the talk around it. This is what's happening, and I think, and I read Brian's first book. That's how I reached out to him after I read the first book and was like, I want to talk to you about this. Do you have time? And he turned out, yeah, we connected, and now you can draw certain lines and go, now what? How much of a headache is this for the leagues?
Huge. It's why they're throwing the book at people.
The guy that they suspended before for the Lions and stuff, did you see? He's cut now. Cut him today.
Not Jameson Williams.
No,
The
the
other-
other
yeah,
guy.
yeah,
They had
the other guy.
6
Well,
games. And
yeah.
said, no, you're gone. You're just
Yeah.
gone. That's it.
Right. They cut the other two guys
Right after.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Waited one more and they
Yeah.
cut the other one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably had to wait to make sure they could draft a guy to replace him. And once they did, then they cut him.
Oh, there's a good one. JGL Jag just came in and said, well, now that the professional leagues are partnered with the sports book, something has to be going on.
Well, but that's a reality conversation that people are having at the bar. People don't like this. People don't like that the books have sports betting platforms in their stadiums.
It's only going to get worse. I kept telling those guys on that show yesterday, wait till Florida, California,
In
or
Texas.
Texas. Wait till one of them gets it. And you see the volume go.
Yeah.
More and more stuff's going to happen. I was sitting with Johnny P. We're talking about putting up college baseball lines. He's like, college baseball betting is actually increasing.
100%. Because the
it's-
South loves it.
There's states that now
Love it.
have availability to do it.
Mississippi, Tennessee. Where else is it legal in the South?
Yeah.
Georgia will be. Alabama's not, but Alabama's thinking about it. But yeah, it's SEC betting on SEC baseball and Big Ten baseball. There's definitely a demand for it. 100%.
Oh man, I don't like the talk of it at all. Makes me uncomfortable. I don't like it.
And there's only going to be more of it. And because the league has stated to the players, the NFL has stated to the players, you can bet, but you can't bet in certain places. You can bet, but you can't bet on your sport. But you can bet on everything else. But if you work for the league, you can't bet on anything. Why?
You
Because you
definitely
work for the
can't
league.
do it if you're on the team Wi-Fi. If you're on the facilities.
Nobody can do that. No
Right.
one can bet.
You
on
can do
team.
it in your parking lot in the car, but
Shut
you come
Wi-Fi
on
off.
in the
Yeah, shut
building in the
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't be on. You can't do it. You can do it
That's-
at home,
That's the
but you
stuff that's
can't do it
stupid.
here.
Right.
That
That's the
is
stuff. That's stuff
silly.
that's stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. All right. Time for better to book it time. Let's jump in. Dave likes it. He books it or bets it. He doesn't like it. He books it. First 5 over 5.
First 5 over 5. Which game?
Royals, White Sox later today.
First
It
5
is
over
Lynn
5. Royals,
Keller.
White Sox. Lynn and Keller. Total's 9.5. What's your total? First 5
5.
over. 5. Okay.
Minus 110 over 5. White Sox are scoring 3.1 runs per first 5 on the road. Royals haven't scored a ton at home, just 2.1 first 5 at home, but 3.5 the last 3 games. Lynn has a 5 ERA, gave up 4 in his last start against the Reds. Keller has a 7.62 ERA at home here. White Sox have been scoring a lot of runs lately.
Over.
Betting it.
Betting it. Over.
Betting it.
Yep.
Over 7 plus 110, Vegas and the Edmonton Oilers tonight.
Yesterday, we did this exercise and we said we got to keep betting it
With
with both hockey games over because the trend was in our favor.
Trends
The number's been in our favor with this bet, and it's lost every time, right?
Yep.
Won the first one, lost the other
10,
two.
6, and 6 the first 3 games.
Yep. Over. We're sticking with it. Bet it.
Yeah, that was my mentality.
I don't
too.
want to switch now.
No, I agree. I just said, look, I'm going to bash my head and I get plus money this time. Maybe a push potential, but I'm just going to keep on slamming my hand in the door and just keep on doing it.
This is like the rhombuses and the parallelograms that bet the Lions to win every week.
Yeah.
The year they went 0-17.
Just
He
keep
said,
on
"Oh, they're
betting
not
it.
going 0-17. They're going to win." Okay.
Like,
Week
keep-
12. Are you sure? Yep, they're going to win.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna
we'll
keep
bet
on.
over till it goes over. Over.
Yep. Heat +4 against the Knicks tonight.
Oh, man. Stretch my neck for this one. Oh, that cracked. That felt good. What have you been saying about the betting on the NBA in the playoffs? What are we doing?
Bet the dog outright or bet point spread.
So why'd you take the 4? Why don't you
I
just
did.
take the money?
I took them both.
That's what you're supposed to do. That's what we're doing.
took
I
them
was
both.
like, why is he taking the points?
I
This
took
is
them both.
money line. Bye-bye, Knicks. Bye-bye, New York. Enjoy the replay on Sports Grid. Enjoy your summer, Knicks fans. I'll come on tomorrow.
Go
I'll
fishing.
give you a little New York basketball, all that other stuff. Go New York, go. If they win, they ain't winning. It's over. That's it. Wrap it up.
Bet +4 and bet money line.
Yeah, you can. I mean, that's the show. I mean, that's what we're doing. But
That's what I did.
bet the money line.
Just money
Whisper.
line.
I like when you said that. Whisper.
Yeah. It's like, I bet them both. Favorite thing about today, if we do it quick, we can get the show all in one spot.
Get the show all in. All right. Well, we started the show telling you where I was. I was at DraftKings at the headquarters. Walked in, met outside, get through security. Everybody was very friendly that I met. Sat with a couple guys that, they call them traders now. We never called them that, but talking about numbers and looking at screens, and they got the thing all set up. Took a couple pictures with some guys. Had a great morning, and I met Ed Malinowski, who's a longtime Vegas guy who's done it, did it. We talked about the business and where it's going and where it's been and all these other things. And Ed's got 2 boys. We talked about being a dad, and that was ultimately still the discussion. The job is the job, but, family is what matters most. And it was just a joy to actually talk to Ed with Johnny P sitting right there. Johnny P could have been our son, either one of our sons. And he's in there working, talking about, series prices and how to do this stuff. And me and Ed are just looking at each other like, at one point I said, Ed, save a spot for me. I'm a good role player, team player, glue guy. I said, if nothing else, I'll just come have lunch with you every day. And he goes, you know what? I need somebody for that. I said, I'm in. Give me the hats. I'll talk to you about you on the show. We could do more. We'll help you out. Thanks for watching the BVB. That was my favorite thing about today so far.
2 quick things for me before we run. First, it is Nurses Week this week. My mom is a nurse. I know there's a lot of people out there who have nurses in their family. Thank you and them and all of them for what they do, because literally our healthcare system would not work without the sacrifices. Any of us, including myself, who have been in the hospital recently, what it's like with nurses. They do everything, and
Amazing.
they're the ones that you call in the middle of the night when you're not feeling well or you need something, and they're there to help you. They're to make sure that you feel comfortable, and you're there to be supported and make sure that you're getting better on the road to recovery. So huge thank you to all the nurses, my mother included, for all you guys and girls who are nurses out there in the world. Secondly, Ted Lasso is in its final season. This is it. We're running down to the last episode of Ted Lasso. If you don't watch Ted Lasso, it is such an amazing show. I'm a huge fan of it. But last night, there was an episode. I'm not going to give away spoilers for last night because it was so good. You got to watch it. It's one of the best episodes I've seen from a sports drama TV show ever last night. But there's a scene in it in which one of the guys is talking, and I felt like I was listening to our show.
No.
Because he tells a story about a guy who he gets into a huge argument with. And the moral of the story, I won't spoil it, but the moral of the story basically is that you never know what someone's going through. You never know what is happening in their life. And it's just another huge reminder. I was like, this is what makes this show so fun, is that yes, it's about sports. Yes, it's about sports betting, but we talk about so many other things. You just simply don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And so many of us are ducks. On top of the water, we present one thing, and under the water, we are a goddamn mess. And we are just
Like this.
going crazy.
Crazy.
And I was like, man, our show is kind of like Ted Lasso. I was like, that's kind of what we do. It's a soccer show. It's a show about relationships, but it's a show about life. Our show is a sports betting show, but really it's a show about life. It's really a show about what's going on. So
true.
why, if you don't watch Ted Lasso, what if you do, you haven't seen last night's episode, 100% I could not recommend it more. It's a phenomenal watch. Watch it tonight. You guys will like it a lot. Good job, Farra. For Dave, I'm Matt. We got the show 2 days in a row on Sports Grid. How about that? We'll get bonus time tomorrow on a Thursday's BVB.